Hey, subcontractor. How does it feel for you to take orders from me, who's younger than you? Hello, how are you? Mr. Adams, what do you want? You asked for my contact information, and I thought it was urgent. What do you need? Just answer the question. You're in your late 30s by the look of it, right? I'm 35, so I'm in my mid-30s. That's pretty much the late 30s. You'll be 40 if you round up. When you put it that way, sure. So, what does it matter? You're suddenly interested in my age? What is it? I'm 28. Huh? I see. Do you understand? Sorry, I don't understand. You can only react like an AI? I'm 28 and you're 35. But I have a higher social status than you. You have to take orders from me. How does that feel? I wouldn't be able to stand it. What are you talking about? As common sense, I try not to be rude within the bounds of propriety. What's wrong with that? Don't you have any pride? Excuse me? I couldn't take it. I wouldn't want a life like yours. What? What do you mean? What do you need from me? You want to be like me, right? Huh? I'm young. I work for a good company. I'm not like you. I guess you could say we live in different worlds. By the way, Emily, the receptionist, likes me. Do you mean Miss Johnson? That's right. Well, she's gonna marry me. Soon to be Mrs. Adams. That's unlikely. Mr. Lowe's, do you understand your position? It's Loath. It doesn't matter. It's kind of the same thing. No, because that's not my name. You're such a detail-oriented guy. You just have to do what I tell you to do. Because you're a subcontractor. What? Subcontractor? You say business partner like it's a big deal. In short, you're just a subcontractor. If you don't get the job from my company, your company probably couldn't even keep it going. Mr. Adams, you must be mistaken. The previous rep was also named Lowe or something like that. I feel sorry for that guy too. He's even older than you, right? It's too bad he's not as good as me at that age. What are you talking about? My predecessor's name is Spence. There's no employee named Lowe in our company. What are you talking about? Was that old man that much of a presence? I can't believe you remember his name. I don't understand what you're talking about. Mr. Adams, I've been trying to tell you. You're mistaken about something. I only went to your company this time for a business meeting. Why should I be told that much? You seem to be looking down on me. Your presence is annoying and has no use other than to look down on. If you want to be like me, why don't you start over from high school or something? Then you might be able to get a better job. Maybe then you'll have some hope for the future. With all due respect, I was already working for this company when I was your age. I'm a mid-career hire and I've been in this position for 10 years. I also hold a higher position than you think. I'm not in a lower position than you. Huh? Even if you've worked for such a weak company for a long time. Even if you bragged about holding a higher position. So what? You say you're a business partner who's here for a business meeting and you make it sound like a big deal. You just came to our company to beg for a share of the profits. Mr. Adams, you were not at the business meeting, were you? I have no idea why you'd say that. You should stop this. There seems to be a lot of misunderstanding going on. Don't talk to me like you're here for a business meeting or something. You're a subcontractor. I am not your subcontractor. Are you listening to me? I think you're mistaken. Why don't you calm down? The contract is as I just sent you. I heard that the person in charge there, Miss Triss, had to leave early today because she's feeling unwell. I left it on your desk as you're her assistant. Please check. Oh, I burned that one earlier. What? Burned it? What do you mean? I saw you put something on my desk. At a glance, I knew it was a contract. Looks like you need my signature. You act like a big man, so I burned it. Why would I sign a contract with a bottom feeder like you? That's a joke, right? First of all, you're a bottom feeder and a crappy subcontractor. You were talking to my girl, Emily. Yes. What does it matter now? You were flirting with my girl. That's unacceptable. You're annoying. Right after that, I saw that contract and I got mad. You're a nobody. Who do you think you are? I burned that piece of paper because I would never sign a contract with someone like you. That was a $4 million contract. Huh? I'm hoping that's a joke. Did you really burn it? That contract was the result of many discussions between our company and yours, you know. What are you talking about, $4 million? I don't see how you can get a deal that big. Who would pay such a large sum of money for your company? You're just a weak subcontractor. You Can't you just stop it? I'm from East Company, you know.
Huh?
I know it's rude to put it this way, but do you realize that you're the subcontractors?
Huh? Wait a minute. What are you talking about? Who's East Company? Huh? That isn't our prime contractor's client, is it?
I've said so many times. I don't know what company you've mistaken for ours. The Mr. Lowe you're referring to? I think he and I are completely different people. Because our names were similar, did you make the mistake of thinking we were from the same company? I didn't know employees with no common sense like you existed.
Please, wait a minute. Mr. Lowe, are you from East Company?
How many times do I have to tell you? My name is Loth.
I am so sorry. Please, forgive my rude behavior. I was completely mistaken. I never had the slightest intention of picking a fight with your company.
Even if it's another company, I'd suggest you don't pick a fight with them.
It was a contract with your company. I'm really sorry. I accidentally discarded it by mistake.
I just heard about it. I hoped it was a lie, but I'm disappointed. So you really burned it?
I'm very sorry. My mistake. I'll be careful in the future so this does not happen again.
There is no future.
Huh? So, that contract. Could you please bring it again? The person in charge will be able to come to work tomorrow. I'm sure she'll be feeling better by tomorrow.
No, I've had enough.
What do you mean?
The contract is gone and I'm leaving. There was never any talk of this contract.
Huh?
Now, excuse me.
Wait a minute. What do you mean the contract never happened? That's a joke, right?
I don't joke about these things, unlike you. That was the original contract. We don't have a copy. I doubt we will ever approach your company again about a contract. I'm sorry, but give up.
You want me to give up? Wait a minute. There was a $4 million deal, right? Your company and our company have been working together on this project. Didn't this contract take a while to finalize? And you're going to terminate it? That would be a big problem between our company and yours.
It will.
Then let's not make such a big issue. Let's work together to figure out how to solve this problem.
No, thank you.
Yes?
From what standpoint are you speaking? Everything you say is offensive.
No, I'm really sorry about that.
We agreed to the contract and brought it to you today. All I had to do was for you to sign the contract for me and take it back to the office. Your company should have been able to sign a $4 million contract. But look what you've done. Not only are you making your own self-serving misguided judgments and being disrespectful to me, but also you burn a $4 million contract because you feel like it. Don't you think that's beyond any level of common sense?
You're absolutely right. I have no words to reply with. I'm so sorry. I'm committed to ensuring that this never happens again.
No, thank you. Your president will be very angry.
Please, let's not get the president involved. Please come back.
You can't ask me to do that. Mr. Adams, it's too late now. It's against the law to dispose of contracts without permission. Just because you're young doesn't mean you're allowed to do it. Do you understand?
I understand, but I'm still in my 20s. I have a future. Please, forgive me. From now on, I won't let this happen again.
How many times do I have to tell you? The contract is canceled. There are a number of other companies that want to sign a contract with us. Well, then, we'll sign a contract with another company. Excuse me.
Please don't say that. Please, wait. I'm truly sorry that I did this. It would be a huge loss for our company. If this gets out to the company, I could be fired. You should think about my life.
I'm sorry if I'm being rude, but I think it's well within their boundaries to fire you.
Huh?
You've lost the company a $4 million contract. I think it's a fair punishment for you to get fired.
It's been a year since I started this job. I'm about to get promoted.
I see. Well, that's too bad. Your future is none of my business. The contract is canceled, and I'm sure you'll be fired. But it was a good learning experience, wasn't it? A little more business etiquette. Learn from your mistakes, please. As a result, Mr. Loth went straight back to his office, creating a huge problem within Mr. Adams' company. Mr. Adams was held responsible for burning a $4 million contract. Not only was he fired on the spot, but he also had to pay compensation. He seems to have gotten carried away and ended up regretting it. As a matter of fact, it turns out that the receptionist, Miss Emily Johnson, was a cousin of Mr. Loth, Of course, a troublesome guy like Mr. Adams was not of interest to her, and she rejected him immediately.
Good morning, Hannah. You'll never guess what? I found you another house again today. I've got a good feeling about this one. I think it's perfect for you. It's a slightly older building, but it's a really quiet neighborhood. It's so cool. You're gonna love it. So this is what it looks like. I think you're gonna be looking at about $30 a month in rent. What do you think, lol?
Beth, please. Would you stop making fun of me? I know that building is an old apartment block super deep in the mountains, isn't it? Plus, I'm pretty sure it's abandoned now.
Oh no, have I been found out, lol? But think about it, Hannah. I'm being serious. Don't you think an abandoned old apartment is just perfect for someone like you? You are a full-grown woman still sponging off her parents, after all. It's not like you could afford anywhere else, right? Lol.
I'm not sponging off of anyone. What the hell's gotten into you lately? You've been acting weird ever since you came to mine and my parents' housewarming party. You message me at a rate of about 5 times more than you used to. You keep sending my mom and dad random gifts. Isn't this all a bit strange? Plus, you keep sending me pictures of single-person apartments, which admittedly started out seemingly serious, but are getting progressively more ridiculous every day. I mean, abandoned buildings and mountain huts? Give me a break, Beth. Nothing you're doing makes any sense. What are you up to?
How about you try using your brain for once, lol? You're nearly 30, right? I think it's about time you started standing on your own 2 feet for a change. I did assume you'd finally spread your wings and fly the nest when you and your parents moved out into the family home. But to think you actually moved in with them in their new apartment, I couldn't believe it! Isn't it embarrassing to be single living with your parents at your age? Stand on your own 2 feet for once. Neat. Hello. I think you basically get the drift now, right? You understand why I'm kindly sending you pictures of apartments, right? The reason I keep sending your mom and dad presents is because I feel bad for them having to look after a middle-aged NEET. They deserve some love for their sacrifice. They're sympathy gifts.
I'm not a NEET. I have a job. Anyway, whether I live with my parents or on my own has absolutely nothing to do with you. You're my sister-in-law, for God's sake. You never interfered in our private affairs until lately. Stop sticking your nose where it's not welcome.
I have no choice. The fact that my husband's little sister is a fully grown woman who still lives with their parents is so embarrassing to me that I felt ashamed talking about my family situation to my friends. I really do think it's about time you got your own place and became independent.
My parents wouldn't be able to cope on their own if I moved out. They don't have a car between them because both of their legs are bad, which means if I'm not home, they can't even go shopping for basic necessities. Then there's the rent, which I'm paying 70% of. If I move out, my parents wouldn't be able to carry on living here. They'd probably have to go into care.
You think I don't know that, lol? That's why, on the dawn of your long-awaited independence, me and my husband plan on shouldering the burden and moving in with them. My husband is the eldest son, after all, so it's only natural. I think your mother would be much happier with that arrangement, don't you? 2 birds with 1 stone. They get their favorite son and his wife back, and they finally get to see the back of their deadweight NEET failure of a daughter. I see nothing but benefits.
Has that been your aim all along? I did kinda have a feeling. Because I remember, Beth. How you used to look down your nose at Mom and Dad's house complaining that it was old and shabby and full of dust. You wouldn't come home for Christmas or birthdays. You had basically zero interest in the place. Then, the moment we move into a nice apartment, we're suddenly hearing about how eager you are to move in here on a daily basis. But with me here, you can't do that, which is why you're doing everything in your power to get rid of me. You take the biscuit for the most shameless dirtbag I ever met.
You can hardly blame me. Who'd want to live in a house that looks like the floors are gonna fall through any second? I'd be living in constant fear. And let's face it, if it wasn't such a rotting heap of old scrapwood, they wouldn't have had torn it down in the first place, would they? It was full of insects. It was even creakier than your mom and dad's knees. It smelled weird. The bottom line is, it was plain nasty. That's why I did my best not to go anywhere near it. I was really blown away when you guys managed to move into such a nice, shiny apartment. Talking about moving up in the world.
Your heart's even blacker than I thought. Thanks for revealing your true colors. I'm still not going anywhere, though. Who in their right mind would fall for such an obvious ploy?
Oh, sure, Beth.
I'll let you take care of my place at home and leave my aged parents in your care while I'm at it. Give me a break. If you did get your way and move in, your next move would probably be to get rid of my parents. And make that apartment entirely your own somehow, wouldn't it? Did I hit the nail on the head?
Oh, wow, what kind of person do you take me for? I'd never do that. I'm offended of that accusation, lol. Don't worry, I'm gonna take real good care of your mom and dad. They will be paying for my rent with their pensions after all. It's hardly fair that you're the only one who gets to live rent-free in such a nice apartment, isn't it, lol?
Do not talk about my parents like there's some discount coupon. I've always hated this about you. You can be so callous. If you weren't married to my big brother, I'd never have anything to do with you for the rest of my life.
You think I want a lazy, neat write-off as my sister-in-law? Good riddance, I say, lol.
Anyway, I'm not going anywhere. And I'll never let you move into this apartment.
Oh, please, have you heard yourself? What makes you think I need your permission? I'm gonna move in, and there's not a thing you can do to stop me. Sucks to be you, huh?
Beth, I need to speak with you. Where the hell did all my things in my room go?
Huh? Why are you asking me? Do you have any proof that I went in your room and moved your stuff? If you don't have any proof, then stop treating me like I'm some kind of criminal. You can be so callous sometimes.
Quit playing dumb. I know it was you. My mom and dad saw you carrying my furniture outside. You intentionally waited until I was out so you could go uninterrupted. Then you lied to my parents that I'd ask you to take all my furniture outside. I know, Beth. My mom told me everything.
Oh no, did I get found out already? Fine, I'll admit it. I took all your stuff. What now? I heard sometimes you have to take extreme measures to force NEETs to change their ways. It was written on the net. I was just trying to help you. If I didn't do that, you might have been a NEET forever. If having to be the bad guy by taking all of your things was what it took to rescue you from that fate, then so be it. Think of your poor parents. How long did you plan on burdening them? I couldn't bear to watch any longer. Do you understand now?
Stop screwing around, Beth. How many times do I have to tell you before it goes in? I have a job. I am not a NEET. I have no intention of leaving this house. And you have no right to go taking all my stuff behind my back. This is theft.
What a preposterous accusation! I did this for you, Hannah. For your own good. For your future.
No, you did it so you could live in this apartment. Anyway, obviously I want my furniture back, too. But what did you do with my DVD collection? All the DVDs in my limited first edition Mask Driver box. And my Net Ranger figure that came with the DVD. If you broke any of them, there will be hell to pay. I mean it.
Oh, you mean those cheap, tacky-looking DVDs? I sold them at a local charity shop.
What? You sold them?
As for the furniture, I thought you'd probably use it again once you moved out, so I left it in our backyard. I couldn't leave the DVDs and games and stuff like that outside. But at the same time, I didn't want to have such a load of junk taking up space in the house, so I sold them. I got about $350 for everything in total.
You sold my cherished DVDs and game collection for a measly $350 at a charity shop? You sold them despite the fact most of them are priceless and can no longer be obtained?
Come on, Hannah, you're almost 30 years old. Isn't it time you grew out of these childish hobbies of yours? Aren't you embarrassed? I'm going to donate the $350 from the DVDs and games to you, so use it as part of your moving fund to get yourself a nice new place. Obviously, when I say donate to you the $350, I only mean half of it though. I'll be taking the other half as commission for my services, lol. Let's go out together tomorrow. Just us two girls to find you a new apartment.
I'm taking you to court.
Huh?
My patience has run out. You crossed the line. I won't let you get away with this. I'm taking you to court immediately.
Taking me to court? Do you have any idea how ridiculous you sound? That's not even possible, darling. You can't file a lawsuit over a family dispute. It appears you're a little uneducated on the matter. There's such things as civil non-intervention, you know, lol.
All that means is that the police can't intervene in civil disputes. Your theft constitutes an offense that, as long as a formal complaint is filed, can be prosecuted. I'll hire a lawyer and file a lawsuit. This means a trial. Are you capable of understanding what that means with your pea brain of yours?
What? A trial?
I can't get the police involved, but I can take you to court and have you tried before a judge. I'll be filing the lawsuit immediately and you will pay for what you've done. Expect to hear from my lawyer very soon.
Just hold on a minute. Don't you think you're being a little unreasonable here? Why would you take me to court?
What? What do you mean, why?
Everything in your room in that apartment belonged to your mother, right? If anyone was going to take me to court for theft, it would be one thing if it was your mom, the rightful owner of the things I took. But wouldn't it be weird for a neat loser with no possessions living rent-free with her parents to be the one filing charges?
That would be irrelevant even if it was true. Even if the legal owner was the one who could file the charges, it would make no difference. Because this is my apartment.
Huh? What are you saying? Isn't this your parents' apartment?
Wrong. I bought it, and I paid for it.
What? Not your mom and dad? I was sure it was theirs. I thought they paid for it with their savings and the money from selling the land from their old house.
It's my apartment, paid with my salary, bought by me, owned by me, mine. I bought it when my mom and dad had the house demolished. My parents are the one living rent-free. Do you understand?
What? This can't be happening. You're joking, aren't you? Tell me it's just a joke. If it really is your apartment, no matter how much I curry favor with your mom, no matter how many gifts I buy or how nice I am to them, I can never live there. That's what it means, isn't it?
Yes, that's exactly what it means. It's my house, so I decide who lives there.
Oh my god. All my hard work until now was a total waste!
That's why I'm taking you to court. Make sure you let my brother know what's happening too.
Please, just wait! Let's discuss this like reasonable adults! Surely you don't seriously plan on taking your sister-in-law to court? We're family!
Who? You're just my brother's wife. From my point of view, you're nothing but a common thief who tried to deceive my parents and sold all my personal belongings.
No, we really wasn't like that! This is all just one big misunderstanding! We just have our wires crossed a little, that's all. I'll give you all your furniture back immediately! Everything!
You just said you left it in the backyard of your house, didn't you? It's raining today. You don't seriously plan on returning my furniture back to me soaking wet?
I'll give it a good wiping down before I give it back! If there's any dirt on the littler things, I'll give them a thorough scrubbing. And if any of the books are ruined, I'll buy you new ones.
What about my DVD box? That's the most important thing out of everything.
I'll buy it back! I'll give the charity shop their money back! Please!
Okay, here's what I'm willing to do. I want all of my furniture and tools back spotless. And they better look brand new when I see them. I want you to go buy back my DVD box. Then I want you to swear that you'll never meddle in my business ever again. If you do all those things, I won't take you to court.
Really? That's all I have to do? Phew!
By the way, the DVD box you sold for pocket change was not only a limited first edition item with only a very small number of units ever produced that's no longer available commercially, but the few that are on the market currently selling at a premium, and even the second-hand ones go for $1,500.
How much? 1,500? For a measly little DVD box? But they only gave me $350 at the shop!
Yeah, you really gave them the deal of a lifetime, didn't you? They probably cracked open the champagne when you left. People pay over $3,000 for them brand new. Of course, I went out of my way to preserve mine in its brand new state with its original packaging left untouched. Which means, of course, you'll buy me another brand new, unopened one, right? If you don't, I'm filing the lawsuit.
No, wait! The last part is a little difficult. I can't just conjure up $3,000 out of thin air all of a sudden. I need time.
Okay, I'll file the lawsuit.
No, stop it! Please, just not that. Anything but that.
Wah. Have you heard how pathetic you sound? You're a fully grown woman, but you act like a spoiled child. Are you still in diapers by any chance? Isn't this even slightly embarrassing for you? Know your place, thief.
I'm sorry. I never intended for things to turn out like this. I made a mistake. Don't we all make mistakes sometimes? Please forgive me.
You have 3 days. I want everything you took from my room returned to its original state before those 3 days are up. My furniture, my tools, my books, my games, and obviously my DVD box. If there's even a single thing I don't like, a single scratch, damp mark, a single item that isn't exactly as it was before, I think you know what happens next. After that, my sister-in-law ran out into her backyard and started frantically drying off my furniture, scrubbing down smaller things that had gotten dirty, and driving around town like a mad woman buying replacements for the things that were damaged beyond repair. Then she turned up at my apartment and desperately tried returning everything to its original place. However, when she went back to the charity shop in an attempt to reclaim the DVD box that she sold, they charged her a whopping $2,500, over 7 times the price she sold it at, and when she heard that figure, she lost her mind. Apparently, she grabbed a hold of the poor shop clerk's arm while yelling, "But you bought it off me for $350!" Eventually, she calmed down and handed over the money through gritted teeth when he threatened to call the police, and successfully bought it back. Much to my astonishment, She actually did manage to return my room to its original state before the 3-day time limit was up. Which means that, as promised, I didn't file a lawsuit against her. Of course, I gave her a final stern warning. If you pull anything like this again, you won't get any leeway, and I'll be taking you to court immediately. She nodded her head repeatedly while looking ready to cry at any moment, her body sagging in dejected resignation. I was super relieved when I got my beloved DVD collection back. I bought a lockable shelf that can be fixed to the floor and stored all of my things in it so no one can steal from me ever again.